2025 is a fresh start, a new chapter. It's a year that holds endless possibilities for you, and now more than ever, it's time to turn your focus inward. Life often tries to pull us in many different directions, but today I want to remind you of something crucial. The most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. So let this be the year you focus solely on you. When we focus on others, we often forget one key thing. We cannot pour from an empty cup. We can't truly support others, make the impact we desire, or achieve our dreams if we're not nourishing ourselves first. It's easy to get caught up in the expectations, the noise, the pressures, and even the comparisons. But in this moment, I want you to step back and ask yourself, what do I really need? Not the needs that others expect from you, not the goals that society imposes on you, but what your heart truly desires. This year, stop being everything to everyone and start becoming everything you need to be for yourself. You are your own biggest priority. Often, we let the opinions of others shape how we see ourselves. We start questioning our worth based on what others think or what we perceive they expect from us. But here's the truth. Your worth is not defined by the world's approval. The moment you let go of this burden, you reclaim your personal power. You get to decide how you show up, what you believe, and what your boundaries look like. Imagine a life where your sense of self isn't dependent on what others think or how many likes you get. A life where you are enough, just as you are, simply by being true to yourself. That is freedom. And it's yours for the taking. When you focus on yourself, it's not about being selfish. It's about being self-love. The act of self-care, self-love, and self-compassion isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It is not an act of indulgence, but of empowerment. This year, invest in your growth. What does that look like for you? It might be picking up a new skill, reading that book that speaks to your soul, starting a journal, or even learning to say no to things that drain you. It could be giving yourself the time to rest, to breathe, and to simply be. The key here is to remember that growth happens when you give yourself the space to evolve. The most powerful version of yourself is waiting to emerge, and all you need to do is give yourself the permission to grow without guilt. Now, let's talk about the process of change. Transformation is not instant. It's a journey, and one that requires patience. The world often tells us that we need to be quick, that we need results now, but that's not how lasting change works. In 2025, let's embrace patience. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to be a work in progress. Celebrate the small wins and understand that the challenges are part of the beautiful, messy journey of growth. You are not expected to have everything figured out today. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up and keep showing up. The little things you do today, the kind words you speak to yourself, the moments you carve out for self-care, they all add up. Trust that with each step, you are moving closer to the person you are meant to be. When you focus on yourself, it's important to recognize the beauty in your own journey. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you've done and how far you've come, no matter how small the steps may seem. Gratitude isn't just for the big wins. It's for the growth in the quiet moments, for the lessons learned, for the resilience you show every time you get back up. Remember, gratitude shifts your energy. It makes you aware of the abundance that already exists within you and around you. And when you cultivate this awareness, you'll find that the world becomes a much more compassionate place. starting with your own heart. This year, put your trust in yourself. You have everything you need to succeed already inside of you. Trust that you are capable. Trust that your intuition is your guide. Trust that the universe will support you as long as you stay true to who you are. As you move through this year, don't seek validation from outside sources. Seek it from within. When you trust yourself, you'll know exactly what to do at every crossroad. You'll be led by the voice inside you, the one that knows your worth, knows your dreams, and knows your path forward. 2025 is your year. It's the year of you. The year where you focus only on yourself, your growth, your dreams, and your well-being. This is the time to invest in yourself with everything you've got. You are worthy of your own love and attention. You are deserving of your own time and energy. Let go of the noise and tune into your own heart. Trust yourself, nurture yourself, and embrace the beautiful person you are becoming. This year, remember, when you focus on yourself, you empower the best version of you to show up in the world. And that is a gift you give not just to yourself, but to everyone you encounter. Here's to a year of true transformation. Focus on you and watch everything else fall into place. You've got this. We live in a world that constantly tells us to prioritize everything and everyone else. From family to work to social obligations, there's always something or someone demanding our attention. It's easy to get lost in the whirlwind, to forget that the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. When was the last time you truly asked yourself what you need? And when was the last time you made yourself a priority? In a society that often rewards selflessness, we have been conditioned to think that caring for ourselves is selfish. But let me tell you this, taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's the foundation upon which everything else in your life can thrive. If you aren't your own priority, how can you fully show up for the people and things that matter most to you? The truth is, when you put yourself first, everyone around you benefits because you show up as your best self, energized, focused, and present. Think about it. When you're running on empty, when your energy is depleted, when your mental and emotional reserves are drained, how effective can you be in any area of your life? How much love can you give when you've forgotten how to love yourself first? How much creativity can flow when your mind is cluttered and exhausted? The reality is, the more you focus on nurturing yourself, the more you are able to give to others. When you prioritize yourself, you make room for the things that truly matter, whether it's your health, your passions, your relationships, or your dreams. But to do that, you need to be intentional about carving out time for you. This means setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, creating space to rest, reflect, and recharge. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to saying yes to everything and everyone. But it's essential for your well-being. You don't need permission to put yourself first. You don't need to explain it to anyone. The permission is already yours to take. Being your own priority doesn't mean neglecting others. It means giving yourself permission to be whole, to be fulfilled, and to operate from a place of strength. Think of it like a cup. If you keep pouring from an empty cup, it will eventually run dry. But when you fill your cup, when you nourish yourself, you're able to share from a place of abundance. And the more you focus on what you need, the more you become the person you've always wanted to be. Your needs are important. Your dreams matter. Your well-being is vital. You are deserving of the time, energy, and attention it takes to grow into the person you are meant to be. You don't need to feel guilty for prioritizing your health, your happiness, or your goals. These things are not luxuries. They are necessities. So ask yourself, what would happen if you truly, fully committed to prioritizing yourself in 2025? Imagine the person you could become. Imagine the strength, clarity, and confidence you would feel. Imagine the peace that comes from giving yourself the love and attention you've always given to others. It's time to stop waiting for the world to validate your worth. It's time to give yourself the permission to be your own priority, without guilt or hesitation. This year, make the commitment to focus on you. You deserve it. The pressure to meet the expectations of others can be overwhelming. From a young age, we're taught to seek validation, to measure our worth through the eyes of others. Whether it's the approval of our family, friends, colleagues, or society at large, we grow accustomed to defining ourselves by external standards. But the truth is, your worth doesn't depend on what others think of you. You are not here to live for the validation of others. You are here to live for yourself. We spend so much of our lives seeking external approval that we forget the most important thing. We already have all the validation we need within ourselves. When we allow others' opinions to dictate how we feel about ourselves, we give away our personal power. We hand over the reins to our own self-worth and let it be shaped by factors outside of our control. But what if we stopped doing that? What if we realized that we are enough exactly as we are? Releasing external expectations isn't just about rejecting others' opinions, it's about reclaiming your own voice, your own desires, and your own sense of self. It's about realizing that your worth isn't tied to meeting someone else's idea of success, beauty, or happiness. You define those things for yourself, and you have the right to do so. Your journey, your struggles, and your successes are yours alone, and they don't need to fit anyone else's mold. The more you let go of this constant need for external validation, the more free you become. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean disregarding the people you care about. It doesn't mean rejecting feedback or cutting yourself off from the support of those who genuinely want the best for you. It simply means realizing that no one has the right to define your value but you. The opinions of others are just that. Opinions. They are not facts. And they certainly should not be the foundation upon which you build your sense of self-worth. The moment you release the need for external validation, you start to build an internal foundation of self-respect and self-love. You begin to recognize that your worth is inherent. It doesn't come from what you achieve, how much you have, or how others perceive you. It comes from who you are at your core. This realization is liberating. It means that you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You no longer need to seek approval to feel worthy. Of course, it's not easy. We've been conditioned to look for validation our whole lives, and it can feel vulnerable and unsettling to let go of that need. But in doing so, you begin to step into your true power. You begin to live authentically, without the weight of others' judgments holding you back. You start making choices based on what feels right for you, not what others expect from you. This year, make the commitment to release the weight of external expectations. Stop letting other people's views of you define who you are. Recognize that your worth is inherent and that you don't need anyone else's approval to be confident in who you are. When you stop seeking validation from the outside, you can finally turn inward and start embracing the full, unapologetic version of yourself. Investing in personal growth is one of the most powerful choices you can make for yourself. It's a choice that requires you to be intentional, to take deliberate steps toward becoming the best version of yourself. Too often we get caught up in the busyness of life, work, family obligations, and we forget the importance of focusing on our own growth. But growth is not a luxury. It's essential for living a fulfilled and meaningful life. It's about continually evolving, challenging yourself, and making room for new opportunities to learn and expand. Personal growth begins with self-awarenessness. It's about understanding who you are, what you value, and where you want to go. It requires you to pause and reflect on your life, your choices, and the direction you're heading. When you take time to be introspective, you gain clarity about what truly matters to you. It's easy to get lost in the noise of the world and follow paths laid out by others, but true growth happens when you take the time to define your own goals and dreams. Once you have clarity, you can begin to invest in the areas of your life that need attention. For some, that might mean focusing on physical health, making time for exercise, eating nourishing foods, and getting enough rest. For others, it might mean investing in mental health, seeking therapy, learning coping mechanisms, or practicing mindfulness. Whatever it is, growth requires you to be proactive about taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. These investments aren't quick fixes. They're long-term commitments that pay off in ways you may not immediately see, but in time, they will transform you from the inside out. Growth also requires you to step outside your comfort zone. It's about doing the things that challenge you, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. Growth happens when you take risks, try new things, and push yourself to be better than you were yesterday. It's not always easy, and it's not always linear. There will be setbacks and obstacles along the way, but each one is a lesson that propels you forward. The key is not to be afraid of failure, but to embrace it as part of the process. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to get closer to the person you are becoming. Moreover, personal growth is about cultivating a mindset of continuous improvement. It's about understanding that you are a work in progress, and that's okay. There's no need to be perfect. The goal is to always be moving forward, no matter how small the steps may seem. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without effort. But with consistent action, patience, and a willingness to learn from your experiences, you will see change. One of the most powerful aspects of personal growth is the confidence that comes with it. The more you invest in yourself, the more you begin to believe in your abilities. You start to trust yourself, your intuition, and your decisions. You begin to realize that you are capable of achieving things you once thought were beyond your reach. And when you reach those goals, no matter how big or small, you gain a sense of pride and fulfillment that no one else can take away. Transformation is not something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, a journey that unfolds step by step. We live in a world that often tells us we should expect instant results, quick fixes, and immediate gratification. But the most lasting and meaningful changes in life take time. Change doesn't happen because we wish for it or because we hope for it. It happens when we show up consistently, when we take small actions every day, and when we stay committed to our vision, even in the face of challenges. Patience is key to this process. It's easy to become frustrated or discouraged when we don't see immediate progress, but the truth is that growth is often invisible in the beginning. Just because you can't see the results right away doesn't mean they're not happening. Imagine planting a seed. At first, there's no sign of growth. You water it, you care for it, but it seems like nothing is happening. But underneath the surface, roots are forming, and the foundation for growth is being laid. Over time, a small shoot will emerge, and then, with consistent care, it will grow into something beautiful. The same goes for personal transformation. It's in those quiet, unseen moments that you are laying the groundwork for the changes you desire. This process requires trust, not just in the outcome, but in yourself. You need to trust that you are doing the right things, even when the results aren't immediate. Trust that the work you're putting in now will pay off later. It's easy to get distracted by others' successes or to compare your progress to those around you, but remember that everyone's journey is different. Your timeline is unique to you, and it's important to honor that. The more you trust yourself and the process, the easier it becomes to stay patient and allow things to unfold in their own time. Another aspect of transformation is resilience. You will face obstacles along the way. There will be times when things don't go as planned, when you encounter setbacks, or when you feel like giving up. But these challenges are not signs of failure. They are opportunities to learn and grow. Every obstacle is a chance to build resilience, to learn new skills, and to refine your approach. Embrace these challenges as part of the process, not as roadblocks that stop you. Remember, the most successful people didn't reach their goals without facing adversity. It's how they responded to those challenges that made all the difference. They didn't quit. They adapted, they learned, and they kept going. Patience in the journey of transformation also means giving yourself permission to be imperfect. We often expect ourselves to be perfect and never falter or make mistakes, but that's unrealistic. Growth is messy. And transformation involves failure, trial and error, and sometimes taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Embrace the messiness of it all. Understand that mistakes are part of the learning process. They are not failures, they are feedback. Every misstep teaches you something valuable that helps you become better and stronger along the way. So, don't be afraid to fail. Instead, be afraid of not trying at all. Lastly, remember that true transformation is about who you become in the process, not just the end result. It's the person you are evolving into. The strength, the resilience, the patience, the wisdom, that matters most. Transformation is not a destination, but a way of living. It's about growing into the person you were always meant to be, 1 step at a time. Keep showing up. Keep trusting the process. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. You are exactly where you need to be right now. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It shifts your perspective, transforms your mindset, and changes the way you see your life. Often we focus on what we don't have, what's missing, or what we've yet to achieve. But when you focus on gratitude, it opens your eyes to the abundance already present in your life. It allows you to recognize that even in the most challenging times, there are things to be grateful for. And it's in this recognition that true transformation begins. When you practice gratitude, you train your brain to focus on the positive. Instead of dwelling on what's going wrong or what's not yet achieved, you start to see all the things that are going right. You begin to appreciate the small moments. The smile of a stranger, the warmth of a cup of coffee, the beauty of a sunset, the support of a friend. It's easy to overlook these things in the hustle and bustle of daily life, but when you intentionally make space to acknowledge and appreciate them, they begin to bring you a sense of peace and fulfillment. Gratitude is also a tool for shifting your energy. When you're focused on what you don't have or what you're lacking, you create a sense of lack and scarcity in your life. But when you shift your attention to what you do have and what is already abundant, you create a sense of sufficiency and abundance. Gratitude helps you see that you already have everything you need to be happy and fulfilled in this moment. You start to recognize the richness of your life, even if it doesn't look exactly how you imagined it would. This shift in perspective allows you to move forward with more confidence, knowing that you have everything you need to create the life you want. One of the most profound benefits of gratitude is its ability to foster resilience. Life will always have its ups and downs, and there will be moments when things don't go as planned. It's easy to feel defeated, to lose hope, or to become discouraged. But when you practice gratitude, you gain the ability to find light in the darkest of times. You start to recognize that even in adversity, there is growth. There are lessons to be learned, and there are blessings in disguise. Gratitude doesn't erase pain or difficulty, but it allows you to hold space for both the challenges and the blessings, and to navigate through them with more grace and strength. In addition to cultivating a positive mindset, gratitude also improves your relationships. When you express gratitude toward others, it strengthens your connections and creates a sense of mutual appreciation. It's easy to take the people in our lives for granted, but when you pause to truly appreciate them, it deepens the bond you share. Simple expressions of gratitude, whether through words or actions, show others that you value them, and in turn it encourages more kindness, more generosity, and more love to flow in your relationships. Lastly, gratitude is a reminder of your own power. When you practice gratitude regularly, you realize that you are in control of how you perceive and respond to life's circumstances. You realize that even in difficult situations, you have the power to choose your perspective. You can choose to focus on the blessings, on the lessons, on the growth, and on the things that bring you joy. Gratitude empowers you to create the life you want by shifting your thoughts and energy toward abundance and positivity. So, in this journey of personal growth and transformation, make gratitude a daily practice. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for. It could be something big or small, but in every moment of gratitude, you are inviting more peace, more abundance, and more joy into your life. Trusting yourself is one of the most important skills you can cultivate. We often look to others for guidance, validation, and direction, but the truth is that you have all the answers you need within you. You are your own best resource. And learning to trust yourself means tapping into your inner wisdom, intuition, and strength. It's about recognizing that you have the ability to make decisions that are in alignment with your true self, and that you have the power to navigate through life's challenges with confidence. So often, we second-guess ourselves, we question our choices, doubt our abilities, and wonder if we're on the right path. We listen to the voices of others, sometimes at the expense of our own inner voice. But the more you ignore your own instincts, the more disconnected you become from your true self. The more you rely on others' opinions or fear making the wrong decision, the more you lose sight of the trust that's already inside you. The key is to reconnect with that inner knowing, to remember that you are capable of navigating life's uncertainties. Trusting yourself starts with giving yourself permission to make mistakes. It's about understanding that you won't always have all the answers, and that's okay. Life is a series of experiences, and each one, whether it's a success or a failure, is an opportunity to learn. When you trust yourself, you allow yourself the space to grow, to experiment, and to find your way, knowing that no decision is final. Every choice is part of a larger journey. Even when things don't go as planned, you learn valuable lessons that shape your path forward. This kind of trust requires patience and self-compassion. There will be times when you feel uncertain, when fear or doubt creeps in, and that's completely normal. It's in those moments that you must remind yourself that trusting yourself doesn't mean being perfect. It means being willing to move forward, even when you don't have all the answers. It means embracing uncertainty and knowing that you are capable of figuring things out as you go. Trust is not about having all the details lined up. It's about having faith in your ability to adapt, learn, and course correct along the way. The more you trust yourself, the more your confidence will grow. Confidence comes not from being flawless, but from knowing that you have the resilience, strength, and wisdom to handle whatever comes your way. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking external validation or approval because you no longer need others to confirm your worth or your decisions. You know deep down that you are enough and that you can rely on your own judgment. Self-trust also means honoring your feelings and your intuition. Too often we dismiss our inner voice in favor of logic or external advice. But your intuition is a powerful tool. It's a subtle yet strong guide that has been built through your experiences, values, and instincts. When you start to listen to your intuition, you begin to trust not only your decisions, but also your own inner wisdom. This trust in yourself leads to a deeper connection with who you truly are and what you truly need. It's about aligning with your inner truth rather than the expectations of others or the noise of the outside world. As you cultivate trust in yourself, you'll notice that your relationship with fear begins to shift. Fear no longer has the power to paralyze you or hold you back. Instead, you see fear as a natural part of the process, a signal that you are moving out of your comfort zone and into new territory. When you trust yourself, fear becomes less of a barrier and more of an invitation to grow. Trusting yourself is the foundation of courage, the courage to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to follow the path that feels right for you even when it's not clear or easy. This year, make it a priority to trust yourself more deeply. Trust your instincts. Trust your decisions. Trust that you have everything within you to navigate the twists and turns of life. The more you trust yourself, the more you will unlock your potential and step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. You are your own best guide, and the more you listen, the more you will realize just how capable and powerful you truly are. Taking responsibility for your life is one of the most empowering choices you can make. It means acknowledging that you are the creator of your own reality, and that every decision, no matter how small, contributes to the life you experience. The way you respond to challenges, the choices you make daily, and the actions you take are all within your control. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances, other people, or even past experiences for where you are today. But true power lies in realizing that you have the ability to change your life at any moment. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for things that have gone wrong, but about taking ownership of how you respond to those situations. It's about recognizing that you can always choose how you react, how you show up in the world, and how you move forward. Life will always throw obstacles in your path, but it's how you meet those obstacles that truly defines your experience. You can choose to be a victim of your circumstances, or you can choose to rise above them, learn from them, and use them as stepping stones for growth. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop waiting for external changes or for someone else to come along and fix things. You realize that you are the one who holds the power to change your circumstances. You stop looking outside yourself for solutions and instead look inward to find the strength and wisdom that already resides within you. This shift in mindset is incredibly freeing because it puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. No longer are you at the mercy of what's happening around you. You are empowered to make decisions and take actions that align with your goals, values, and desires. Taking responsibility also means letting go of excuses. It's easy to justify why something can't be done or why you can't make a change. But when you take responsibility for your life, you stop making excuses and start finding solutions. You begin to ask yourself, what can I do right now to move forward? What small step can I take today to create the future I want? Every action, no matter how small, contributes to your progress. By consistently taking responsibility for the choices you make, you build momentum that leads to lasting change. This doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own, or that you're never allowed to seek support from others. Taking responsibility for your life doesn't mean you need to do it all in isolation. It's about recognizing that the power to change and grow is within you. You can ask for help, seek guidance, and learn from others, but ultimately it is your responsibility to take action in your own life. When you take responsibility for your life, you also take responsibility for your happiness. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that happiness comes from external sources, having the right job, the perfect relationship, or the ideal circumstances. But true happiness comes from within. It comes from the way you choose to perceive your life, the gratitude you cultivate, and the mindset you adopt. You can choose to be happy regardless of your circumstances, and taking responsibility for your happiness means taking proactive steps to nurture your well-being, set boundaries, and prioritize what truly matters to you. It's important to remember that taking responsibility for your life doesn't mean you have to be perfect or have everything figured out. It simply means taking ownership of the process. It's about accepting that the path to growth and success is not linear, and there will be setbacks along the way. But with every setback comes an opportunity to learn and improve. When you take responsibility for your journey, you stop letting fear or doubt hold you back. Instead, you embrace each moment as a chance to grow, evolve, and take a step closer to the life you truly want to create. Self-compassion is an essential practice that can transform the way you approach life, challenges, and even yourself. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things go wrong, to criticize yourself for mistakes, or to feel as though you're not measuring up to some ideal. But practicing self-compassion means embracing the reality that you are human, that you will make mistakes, and that you deserve kindness and understanding, especially when things don't go as planned. Self-compassion begins with treating yourself the way you would treat a close friend. When a friend is struggling, you wouldn't berate them or tell them they are not good enough. You would offer comfort, understanding, and encouragement. Yet too often we don't extend that same grace to ourselves. We hold ourselves to impossible standards, constantly striving for perfection, and when we fall short, we beat ourselves up for it. But self-compassion means letting go of the need for perfection and embracing the idea that you are enough just as you are, imperfections and all. The key to self-compassion is understanding that mistakes and setbacks are a part of the human experience. We all face challenges and we all stumble at times. Rather than viewing mistakes as failures, try to see them as opportunities for growth. Each mistake is a lesson, a chance to learn and evolve. And when you approach your mistakes with compassion, you remove the shame and self-criticism that often accompany them, and you create space for learning and improvement. Self-compassion also means giving yourself permission to take care of your emotional and physical well-being. Often we prioritize the needs of others before our own, thinking that self-care is selfish or indulgent. But self-compassion is the practice of recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to prioritize your own well-being in order to show up as the best version of yourself in all areas of your life. This could mean taking time to rest, setting healthy boundaries, or engaging in activities that nurture your mind, body, and soul. By investing in your own well-being, you're better able to give to others and show up with more energy, compassion, and love. Another vital aspect of self-compassion is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness allows you to become aware of your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you experience negative thoughts about yourself, mindfulness helps you observe those thoughts without becoming consumed by them. Instead of identifying with the critical voice in your head, you can simply acknowledge it and let it go. Through mindfulness, you can cultivate a more balanced, compassionate perspective toward yourself and your experiences. It's also important to remember that self-compassion is not about making excuses or allowing yourself to stay stuck. It's about accepting where you are right now, while also acknowledging that you are capable of growth and change. Self-compassion encourages you to take responsibility for your actions without shaming yourself. It gives you the strength to move forward, even after you've made mistakes, because you recognize that you are worthy of a fresh start, a clean slate, and a future full of possibilities. At its core, self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same love, kindness, and care that you offer to others. It's about understanding that you are worthy of your own support and encouragement, and that you don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love and respect. When you practice self-compassion, you cultivate a sense of inner peace, acceptance, and resilience that will carry you through life's ups and downs. And it's not about being hard on yourself when things go wrong, but about embracing yourself with gentleness, knowing that you are enough, just as you are. Nice, 8, nice.